Hi, it's Kelsey and Emily here with Project Intrepid. We're here to talk about what will happen on launch day when we finally get there.
As of right now. And how we're getting there, that's another story.
That's another video log.
That is another video log, which will be coming when we figure out what we're doing to get to launch day. And we also don't know when launch day is, but it'll happen. So, there's some stuff we have to take care of before we actually launch the Intrepid. And the first thing is we have to put aluminum foil on it. This serves as a radar reflecting device so that if there were to be a plane flying around by the Intrepid, which, conceivable, they'd be able to see it and not fly into it, because that would be bad.
And we won't get locked up for many years in a federal prison.
Again, felony charges, bad.
Okay, and then next thing is, according to the FAA, we are not allowed to launch at night.
Unless we put a strobe light on it, and then it would be okay. But we don't have the budget for a strobe light, and frankly, those things are really annoying. So,
yeah, I don't think the people of Iowa would be too happy with us.
Or the cows of Iowa. I think we're going to stick with the day launch.
Yeah, I think that's better.
It's a good idea. Then we also have to tell the FAA a bunch of details of what we're doing before we actually launch it. And because it's an unmanned free balloon under 6 pounds of payload, which we talked about earlier, we only have to notify them that we're launching 6 to 12 hours before we actually do, which is really nice because they like bureaucracy. So we have to tell them the identification of our balloon, the date, time, and location of launch to within 30 minutes, its cruising altitude, which is 101,000 feet, for a very brief second before the balloon bursts. But we're not going to tell them that, because I guess that's what they want to hear. And then the forecast trajectory and the estimated time. Do you want to talk about the estimated time and how we're doing the forecast trajectory?
Okay, well, we will, because this is a math project, we have to do the calculations ourselves. But we are going to use a website that will give us a calculated trajectory for us just to check our math and make sure we're not going to hit anything important.
Right, and we know how to predict a trajectory with a general wind speed and direction. That's not terribly hard, but the problem is our balloon's going to be going up to 100,000 feet. There's a lot of different layers of the atmosphere in between here and there, and wind speeds and shear speeds are going to be a lot different, which is where the University of Wyoming comes in. They have an app on one of their websites that will allow us to forecast the trajectory of a balloon from a specific launch site at a specific time in the very near future. So we couldn't predict the trajectory now, but we can predict it on launch day, and that's all we really need. So before we leave wherever we're staying for the night before launch day, that's the last thing we're going to do, is we're going to predict the trajectory and call the FAA. So we'll have our own ad hoc trajectory predictions, but they won't be that good, and that's why. If we had sophisticated software and programming skills, we could do that, but we have neither sophisticated software nor programming skills. So we're stuck with, good old-fashioned calculus. We also have to tell them the forecast time and location of impact, which is going to come with the forecast trajectory, because if we know time of flight, then that'll tell us when it's going to hit. And if we know the trajectory, we'll know where-ish. And also, we're going to change our launch site if that location of impact is, say, in the middle of a military base.
Or prison, which we've discussed.
We have a number of landing area concerns. We don't want to hit people, so if it were to, say, be projected to land over Des Moines, we wouldn't launch. We also don't want to hit lakes. Lakes are bad. I don't feel the need to go fishing or go swimming.
We're all good swimmers. We're not swimming in some lake.
No. Also, prisons. Iowa doesn't have that many, but I don't know about you, but I don't want to go into a prison to go fetch the Intrepid as much as I love it. That would be awkward. And also, hitting people's property. The good thing about the Intrepid is that it has a really low terminal velocity, so I'm pretty sure it could hit somebody on the head and not kill them. They'd be angry, and they would probably sue us for millions of dollars, but they wouldn't die. So that's good.
Yep. Okay, then we're going to have to tell the FAA right after we launch, so they know we actually went through with it. And then they may ask us for more frequent updates. but that's dependent on if the FAA people are in a bad mood that day or not.
Or, you know, we're in rural Iowa. We're launching from a county that has, 9,000 people in it?
Something like that.
I'm sure they have more cows than people. So I don't think the FAA is going to be terribly concerned about getting regular updates from us. However, but if we lose the balloon for more than 2 hours, which is a possibility, depends on what its ascent rate is and what its descent rate is, because we're not going to be able to talk to it once it's above 2,000 to 3,000 feet. Then we have to notify the FAA when we lose it and tell them when we reacquire the signal. Hopefully that doesn't have to happen, but we don't know. So I think
it pretty much outlines launch day. While it's up there, we're going to be probably sitting in our cars somewhere on a computer or phone, tracking it, doing some more math.
Yeah. Do you want to explain the tracking software?
Okay, so we're going to use tracking software called iqtracker.com. It's a free service. It'll give us both GPS coordinates and altitude, which will be very important for the math. And it's a free software download that can go onto a prepaid cell phone. So we just get one of the cheapo ones from Target.
Because we are dropping it from 100,000 feet.
Yeah, we don't need to get a Droid or an iPhone or...
As fun as that would be.
Even though we could get much more interesting data. We don't need to pay $200 for a phone that's probably not going to be functioning too well.
We're not expecting to get everything back in perfect condition.
The only thing we really need is the memory card.
And those are indestructible.
That could drop. We could probably drop that on an airplane by itself and it'd be fine.
Yeah, as long as it didn't get run over by something. But we are fairly concerned about being able to find the Intrepid, because if we don't find the memory card, then we don't get the pictures of the curvature of the Earth, which is the whole point of the project. So we need to be able to find it.
Yeah.
So as soon as we require signal, we'll start chasing the thing down. So
we'll do it Storm Chaser style.
I was thinking more James T. Kirk driving through Iowa style.
Yeah, that could work too.
Hopefully without any cliffs in our way.
And without us losing the top of our car.
Yeah, we're not driving a convertible. So that's all we got for launch day and tracking, and we'll be back with more updates as the project goes forward. Bye. We love you, all of our loyal fans.
Live long and prosper.
All 2 of you.